Igbos should team up with Yorubas to achieve Igbo presidency in 2023 election. Don't tear your shirt, my brothers. Push for it to come south. That's the first struggle, and I want Igbos to team up with the Yorubas to achieve this. It is not guaranteed, not with people like Atiku and his many secondaries plotting day and night. Let Igbos who Yorubas, they are our brothers. They will understand it's our turn, but we have to work for it through persuasion and negotiation. We must strategize. One or two Igbo traditional rulers can approach Yoruba leaders. They can start with the smart Oni, but they have to talk to Tinubu. Tinubu is a great progressivism, entails equity, fair play, and humanist greatness means self-sacrifice. Igbos have to make an emotional argument, the sort of argument that was made for the Yoruba in 1998. Our argument must be founded on our history and our present. The history of a horrendous time during the Civil War. The nation needs to heal Asaba and heal the wounds of genocidal starvation. Tinubu will understand we must give him credit. He has invested more than anyone else in the project. Our own politicians haven't got it foresight and thoughtfulness. Our present shows that we have embraced this country and are the most widely dispersed and consequently most firmly entrenched group in the country. If we make the right emotional appeal, we will succeed. When it comes to us, let all Igbos partake. We need to heal ourselves. The war tore us apart. From within amongst us, we have our grievances, but there is something else. It won't just get to us easily. We must put our best and most convincing foot forward. It won't be an election of an Ohanese president. Others will play a role in choosing, and Atiku could be in the race. Let us present as many as we can from amongst us. Let us present people who have a sort. People who have a sort of gravitas required to win at the national level. It won't be donated to us. We have a good chance, but we can lose it while quibbling and disuniting ourselves. Our best case is the case for an Igbo presidency, pushed persuasively with a united South making overtures to the North. Well, it's a very great one. It's a very good idea. If the Igbos can team up with the Yorubas to win 2023 elections, I think it will be a good thing. But meanwhile, a lot of things had happened in the past which has made the Igbos to be scared of the Yorubas. And it was said that among the Igbos is a long-held sentiment about the Yorubas, and it stemmed from the Civil War. Yes, it stemmed from the Civil War because it is that Yoruba people are backbiters and untrustworthy, and their words must be taken with a pinch of salt, as in they are not straightforward. They are backbiters. In the past, it happened that they were not straightforward and a lot of things went wrong. You understand? That is why you can see that the Igbos take it very difficult. They see it so difficult for them to trust the Yorubas because the Yorubas have been so, how would I put it, they were in that past not straightforward in the olden days, or else a lot of things would have gone well. But because of their lifestyle, so the Igbos have taken it upon themselves to be, watchful and be vigilant of the Yorubas. But now, I think the Igbos are not thinking of, let's try and come together team up to win this election. At least this time around, a lot of things will work out for good if there will be cooperation between the Igbos and the Yorubas. Well, it was said that from the perspective of the Igbos, Yoruba people led by Obafemi Awolowo betrayed the Igbos led by Odumegu Ojukwu. Yes, if you can remember this story. And the Igbo believe if Awolowo had kept his words, can you imagine? That was their belief, that if Awolowo had kept his own words, Yorubas would have seceded alongside them and their combined forces would have made the breakaway more possible. Yeah, this is an history I'm trying to remember and analyze why the Igbos are still scared of the Yorubas. Now, the Yorubas too hold a different historical perspective of what happened in 1967. To them, Ojukwu was pursuing a selfish agenda and only wanted the backing of the Yoruba people without putting anything on the table to assure them of what they would get from such move. You can imagine. So they were both in that aspect suspecting each other. There was no trust on both sides. You can imagine what actually transpired in 1967. Fine. Thus, as a result of the failure to reach a middle common ground, Awolowo did what he felt was best for his people. It is important to note that in 1967, Nigeria still practiced a strong regional form of government and regional aids. Unabashedly championed the growth and development of their people in what many have come to see as healthy competition. Thus, while Ojukwu did what he felt was best for himself and his people, Awolowo also did the same. So you can see what actually transpired in those days, 1967. Well, this is not an attempt at historical revisionism, but to only identify the standpoint where relationship began to strain between Yorubas and Igbo. Since the Civil War, both regions have found it difficult to politically cooperate, except in 2015. Can you imagine? And when that happened, it ended up being for the good of Nigeria, and the same thing can be replicated in 2023. So in 1999, Olusegun Obasanjo was the foremost presidential candidate who ran on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, that is PDP right now. So he was, however, not the consensus candidate of the Yoruba people, as Olufalaye was the preferred candidate, although Obasanjo won on the back of massive support from the north. So he was never considered a Yoruba president in the real sense of someone whose presidency received support of his people or positively affected their lives. So in 2011, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan contested for presidency and won, contrary to what many thought. Jonathan's victory came largely from his dominance in the south rather than the north. So he won all the states in the south except Osun State, which was won by Nuhu Ribadu, if you could remember vividly. So his main opponent, Muhammadu Buhari, won massively in the core north. So, and as you can see, significantly, the Yorubas of the Southwest largely voted for Jonathan, despite the fact that the Action Congress of Nigeria, led by Bola Tinubu, was gaining grounds and affirming itself as a strong regional party. In Lagos, for example, the ACN won the governorship election, but the people still voted Jonathan as their presidential candidate. So ultimately, I think Jonathan's victory came on the back of massive support from the Southwest, Southeast, and South-South. So it should be significantly noted that in the eye of the average Yoruba person, Jonathan is Igbo, as not all, especially a large number of those that make up the electorate, can distinguish between the Southeast and the South-South. So now, what are we talking about? The fact now remains that we as Igbo and the Yorubas, if both region can come together, I think there will be a better Nigeria. That is what the writer is talking about right now. And if you look at it very well, the Northerners have been ruling and they've almost taken over. Now, in fact, they've taken over, but now the Yorubas and the Igbos, if they can come together, I think a lot of things will work out, because now they have even realized their mistakes. And that is for sure, they've realized their mistakes, so they themselves will want a better Nigeria for themselves. So I think with that, a lot of things will go well with everyone in Nigeria. So that is my take. So may the good Lord continue to protect us all and make us understand why we are true Nigerians. And that is it. Well, let me have your take on this, and remember to subscribe for more updates. Thanks and God bless.